Members, the Majority Leader said that he's frustrated or disappointed that we've come to this juncture, but I'd like to review a couple decisions that he made and steps that he pushed the body towards in leading to this juncture. Recall that the budget resolution is an economic projection. How much money do we think we'll have for the next year's budget? And recall that the House settled on a more conservative or cautious number, where the Senate grabbed a more optimistic or sunny dispositioned number. The debate should be over which number is more supported by economic circumstances. However, the Majority Leader said that his position was, if the Speaker of the House could show what cuts he would make, if he could show how he would draft a budget that would fit within the more conservative number, then it might be okay to go with that number. Which, of course, members, gets things exactly backwards. Draft the budget and then see what number we end up with and then accept that as the economic projection. That completely inverts the definition of economic projection. Remember, we were supposed to pick a number that represented our best guess of the available resources and then budget from there. And yet the posturing that went into this was, draw your budget, show us where the cuts are, and then we'll see where the number lands. That's not a projection, that's a result. We're not choosing a result here, we're choosing an economic projection. So I'm frustrated and disappointed that we've gotten to this impasse too, but it's because of the posturing that this chamber engaged in responding to the House's number. We made a mistake and now we're facing the consequences.
Thank you, Mr. President. Senator Johnson, I really appreciate you actually bringing this resolution over. You know, Senator Morris and myself and some other folks from El Paso County met with our superintendents of the school districts a couple days ago, and Senator Morris, you did a phenomenal job articulating the dire straits that are before them as we plan to make significant cuts. What Senator Morris told the school districts was, you ain't seen nothing yet. You did. And they weren't smiling. And he said, whatever cut you took last year, double it. Plan to double it. So the message from you, Senator Morris, to them was plan for a whole lot less this time than you got last time, by at least 2 months. And I tell you, the faces were sullen. It was very sobering. And Senator Morris, if you're willing to confront them with the fact that we are going to anticipate much less revenue, they wanted to know in advance. They said, help us know as soon as we can so the pain can be spread across the entire year. Don't hit us with 4 months to go. Don't hit us after we've done our hiring, our staffing, our counseling, our programs. We need to know how bad it's going to be in its entirety as soon as possible. That's what the resolution did as Senator Johnson brought it to this body from the House. It took the worst case scenario, which I think is what we need to plan for in all prudence.
You've done it again. You dragged in an element that doesn't belong in this resolution. Never did. It never did. This is supposed to be a conversation about setting the number, the dollar amount that we believe is going to come in. That's how prudent planners would do it. We have not been prudent the last 4 years. The last 4 years, in fact, we have planned largely because of the directives of the majority party to spend. And what we're asking is to make a course correction, make a break from the bad habits of the past, and actually plan to spend less. It is always easier to bump spending up than it is to take it down. You've mentioned K-12. Well, what about Medicaid? What about higher ed? What about all of the other critical core functions of state government that we need to attend to? Senator Morris, this ultimately is about Republicans hoping that this body will position itself to spend less. The contrast here is remarkable. In light of the last 4 years, you continue to insist on spending more, even before it's come in the door. Ask for no vote.